Later on, gentlemen, as we're ready for game number 1 of the day. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much for tuning in around the world, all ready to get things going, because it is time to move to Miramar once again here as we go on to game number 17, as all of these players are ready to go. It's going to be time as we head over to our commentary team here for all the action. The plane is ready, the players are ready, and the commentators are ready as well. Demon, Pansy, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much, and welcome back to day 2 of the weekend. Hey, Orp, I'm on camera, multiple cameras here. So here we go, Miramar is well underway. Is it going to be another Na'Vi day? That's the question. It's a plane coming down El Azhar down to prison.
Yeah, and one fine day I will see a prison circle. One fine day, my dreams will come true.
I've not had that yet either.
I don't think it's even possible,
I mean, we've been on that little
we
poxy
have been
island
on these small
like
islands
5 times now.
Surely.
It's getting too common.
I know, it's all a little bit too much, but it is going to be the day of who can topple Na'Vi on this map. I'm sure we'll be looking at FaZe when it comes to Erangel, because their percentages are unbelievable. I'm sure the desk touched on that just a bit, but there are certainly other challenges here. It's not been particularly just easy, smooth sailing for Na'Vi. G2 have consistently been testing them. TSM have been getting up there. There's plenty of other teams who are very much vying for that top spot. But the consistency, you cannot ignore what we saw yesterday. It was outstanding from Na'Vi. But I want to stop saying their name until they prove it today. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new playing path. So there's still so much to be seen here. Reciprocity doing what we now know. They said on Twitter, this time to now step up. This is the big one. This is our chance to start building. And the circle is in the south. So we haven't seen a southern circle in the last couple of days.
No, it's obviously with Los Leones in there, big chunk of water. You're looking at really, unless you decide to go north of Los Leones, you're looking at that big slither of land where Mikaz down to Tab, sort of in and all around there. We've seen it finishing on the pretty much direct south road. If you think looking at Center Point, we've seen it around there. FaZe, and I remember, I believe it was the last game on Miramar of Phase 1, where G2 got wiped out on that bottom spot. And that really was what cost them a big chunk of it, for me, cost them reaching to the Face It Global Summit. So they're definitely going to have that in the back of their minds. M19, they've been kind of looking for a home to loot. Validot seems to be where they've settled on Miramar so far. Still really haven't got an Erangel spot yet, though.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of teams that are still maybe looking to further themselves, and not everything's set in stone just yet. As much as we do apply pressure to these teams to get themselves feeling comfortable that this isn't going to be a walk in the park anymore, you do have to have versatility. I want to see teams starting to try and really smooth things out as well, really start stretching their legs and becoming a little bit more than they were before. But let's have a little quick look at who's got those prime cuts to start with. CrowCrowd, of course, huge positioning going forward. ENCE, very quick to move on these things as well. They won't be resting on their laurels. And I want to see more from ENCE. They are the reigning champions of Phase 1. So again, for me, I'd love to see more from them.
It's been a slow start, there's no doubt. Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. They have not been a team to catch your eye. And honestly, they have the least excuses of everyone, in my mind. If you're looking at the table, obviously, Reciprocity have just come into this. Their drop spot was not pleasant with Vitality. They finally changed. It's why they're at the bottom. It makes sense beyond that. For me, though, I really want to see ENCE start operating on the level we know they can, individually. Crazy good players, but we haven't seen that from them. I haven't felt that we've seen them go off yet. Every now and then, they'll definitely hold their own, but it's not been that showcase that we saw last time around.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't see much from Digital Athletics yesterday either. Obviously, they had a great first week. We'll see whether they can sort of turn things around. Team Liquid, they've been woeful on Miramar so far. It is a place I feel they will pick themselves back up. But let's look at rotations, because you can't really go in Los Leones. It creates this sort of bottleneck effect, effectively. You've got Reciprocity, who may actually catch a few people in rotations if they can pull themselves together quick enough. We can already see Vitality and Mobile, they're on the move. Expect to see Team Liquid come in sooner or later. Looks like DA, you can see Sixmo already moving, so they've got vehicles. FaZe is starting to collect vehicles. The northern teams, expect them to probably come in quite late.
Yes.
And maybe find it, and we'll see whether Na'Vi actually can group together and maybe catch M19 on the rotate.
Yeah, I don't know how Na'Vi's going to play this. There's always that temptation of greed, isn't there? Of, well, we've got so many compounds we can go to. We've got these brilliant bits of land, but they do need to consolidate themselves, because there will be a lot of teams looking towards that. But again, for me, it is ice towards Team Liquid in a way, because this has been another underperformance for them, specifically on this map. And it has been their rotations that have been hindering them. They're happy to say it. They're not unaware of their issues. Vitality being caught here by ENCE, who we do want to see more from. So Philippe going to be falling off this, going to peel back towards the team, but certainly showed some presence, but you don't want to overpeak those sort of situations. You don't want to get caught out first, especially when you're one of the teams who has the foothold in this sort of scenario. And it does look as though Unity might be dying to get in on this. Blaston trying to blast past as Nasus turns attention away from the fire that came from ENCE and towards the next potential victim. Oh, Dastish is in danger. I don't know.
Is it one of those little tiny bail things? Yeah.
He might have been just kind of looking around trying to see where those shots were from, and he just clipped it. That's a big loss, though, if he can't get out of this, which I don't see him doing.
He may well have just popped the map up quick to have a quick look at where he was going.
Potentially, yeah.
Crate coming down. Don't foresee too many people getting it, and that's a shame, because what a crate it is. 8 times AWM, fully geared out. You'd be delighted with that one, but it's in a horrible spot, so don't expect too many people to go out on a boat to pick that one up. G2 making the way down south. Reciprocity have grouped up, and now Unity, while they're dodging out on Vitality here, they may bump into the backside of Reciprocity. Obviously, both teams coming from the PCL last season. I should say the competitive... That's he's got a nade in his hand.
I don't know how I feel about the self-nade yet. I'm not sure. I think I'd like to see a rule change on that. I don't like seeing players go
I'd like to see that a minus point.
I actually agree, because I think for competitive, not necessarily integrity, but it's the kind of mentality, right? You always want to play to win, and there shouldn't be a way out.
I mean, it's not so much from that point, because obviously he's the first one to go down, but it's more when you're in that final situation.
Moment,
you want to see some guy going for the 1v3, not sitting there like we had with M19 yesterday. He's behind a tractor, just nades himself. It's like, yay, FaZe win. Great.
Yeah, and for me, it's kind of... I get it. If I was in a position, I'd do the same thing. You play to the rules you're given.
It's what the point system is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming the players for doing it ever. I'd just like to see, them having to, fight that fight. Na'Vi and Liquid in a very early scuffle, and Liquid are in a bit of a uncomfortable spot. Jeem's trying to provide another angle potentially to alleviate the pressure from Senya and Aduzi, but it's Ibi and Samty in a bit of a ditch here. It's not the worst in the world, but you can imagine there's other teams going to turn up on that western side, like maybe M19, that could really be a thorn in the side.
I would like to throw a small counter to that, because, for example, think of last week, FaZe died to his own nade. Didn't do it on purpose, but he died to a nade. If that was a negative point, you'd be quite annoyed with that. It's those dangerous situations. Yeah. How many times have we seen Miraku nade himself? Well, He'd be like, hey, I didn't nade myself today.
Yeah. No, I get
He's not a Scouser, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's that accent come from? No, I know. This is the thing. It's obviously going to be a bit of a discussion point that someone's going to have to sit down and really go through, because you can't sit there and manually think, oh, was that just, did he do it to himself? But you know what I mean?
It needs to be an automatic point, and it can't be like a, somebody has to decide on that. That's a problem then.
Yeah, but no, I think all of us just want to see that final player, if they have to fight for it, give it everything. That's the spirit of PUBG to me. That's what it's about.
That's the point. It's a battle, battle royale. It's like fight to the last. That is the point of the game.
TSM and Unity still kind of going back and forth. They look quite close by, but there's enough compound to share, but I get worried if maybe Orange did overextend, but it looks like he's been kept somewhat in check. Let's look at this position on rotation. Everyone's kind of found position in the south. No one's had to crash compound yet. I think there'll be normal vying for attention, but beyond that, I don't see much of an issue.
I'm somewhat surprised of this sort of void in the middle central point, where obviously you got CrowCrowd there, but there's lots of compounds around here, and I'm talking south central pretty much on the map that has kind of been left untouched. A lot of teams still coming in, Raise Your Edge, NIP, Winstrike coming down the coastline. So I'm talking about this point, just south of CrowCrowd. You can see them in the center, just outside Los Leones, and the circle has gone there. I'm very surprised to see a lot of these Western teams that hadn't gone into that spot, and that may be because Na'Vi took this wide 2-2, and it kind of forced everybody else to stay outside.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on with that. Na'Vi, and potentially, or at least to a lesser extent, Digital Athletics, all the teams on the kind of outskirts would have been gatekeeping a lot, making those rotations particularly hard. But this is where you'll see, hopefully, teams like Team Liquid moving towards it, CrowCrowd maybe adjusting, so it will open up a little bit of space. FaZe could move into it. I'm wondering how FaZe play this out as well. This hasn't been FaZe's map in comparison to Erangel, but they've certainly still been a contender. Winstrike on the other side as well. They've made good ground considering they were way up in the north. And Reciprocity could get a couple of shots to them. It's Vitality receiving the fire at the moment from ENCE.
I like the greediness of CrowCrowd. I think this 2-2 could work out very well. It's a sort of central point. They're covering the central crossroads effectively. That is the center point of the circle. So they're being fairly hefty and greedy with it, and as well they should. They start in Los Leones, so this is kind of the circles they're going to be looking at, picking up maximum points. They're taking shots on Vitality on the hillside. The Knights, meanwhile, just sort of rolling on in and trying to find their way into the circle, scouting. It's this, we heard from Miraku and NIP guys yesterday, it's this stop, scout, stop, scout, stop, scout. It's this rotation you kind of get yourself into, this repetition of checking things out. Snark has done that. He's off, and everybody's just covering him off. He's going off on the bike, so he's going to be that forward scout. Will pull up. Everybody else will come back in. They'll do the same again, and they'll get closer and closer to Na'Vi as they go.
And one fine day, I would love to see some sort of analysis on this. You take all the scouts, all their routes, and you look at similar circles, and you find out what routes each of them take, who's had the most success. These sort of things I would love to see down the line. Unity are
you could get
quite
deeper
close
with it.
here.
You could even get like I don't know, maybe we can
like
get
a heat map or something like that. Would be
like
brilliant.
the heat map, and then that would show, okay, this guy scouted here. There's been a shot this way, so that's why they've diverted this way and stuff like that.
I would
Really
love
plan
that
out the
sort
route.
of
Oh,
thing.
there's so much detail you could get into.
Because you'd really get to see the players' personalities.
Rain, if you're listening, I'm looking at you, mate. You're the one that's going to be able to
Make
sort
it
this
happen.
one out.
Make it happen.
Get Otter Productions on the
yeah.
case. There's a shot taken of it, so that would be simply FaZe. You know, they take a shot at NIP, and then we see NIP divert further south away from FaZe Clan. No surprises. They were on a 2-2, and I think they're probably just going to extend further south now towards Na'Vi.
That would probably be... I mean, is it a good idea going towards Na'Vi on this map?
Not on Miramar, that's for sure.
They're a dangerous team for me. I really want to see if that consistency can continue, but it's beyond the point now. Still 16 teams alive, and I'm looking to see if everyone's got a compound. That western side is getting a little bit warmer in the essence of everyone's starting to pop off. A couple of shots towards NIP from FaZe, DA doing the same thing towards FaZe. You know what I mean? It's that kind of knock-on effect.
I think Team Liquid are going to be pretty happy with their rotations. They took this deep south swing. They were way out west, and they've managed to come in. They were on the far south coastal road and actually managed to come in relatively central, in fairness. Like the circle, you know, sure, it could pull north and then it might be troublesome for them, but you can see they've got a decent cover. They've got the entirety of the back of the hill. They have themselves really this quite a large portion of territory if M19 don't creep into it. Obviously, they have TSM and Unity just ahead of them, but they have a big portion down here. They're going to be happy. Raise your edge. They're going to be looking to it. There you go. So Team Liquid, it has absolutely paid off the gambit. Same with CrowCrowd. They had this wide 2-2 spread. Kemba and Hello Sampai just going to join set and tab. They're going to be delighted with their position. Na'Vi are going to squeak in. They're going to find themselves that next compound along. They've already scouted it. They know there's no one there. They know it's free. So Na'Vi will just close in, and then conversely we'll see NIP. We may actually see NIP and the Knights sort of going for the similar compounds. I think NIP will just go, yeah, they are. They're getting very close to each other, NIP and the Knights.
Yeah, let's remind ourselves of that western side, but the northeast is not without its own problems. Reciprocity are holding the gateway for G2 currently, and potentially down the line some way Rage could head that side. We are seeing NIP getting very, very close towards the Knights. Now, it looks like Wanted's on the move. Reals, Drayden, they're all kind of moving around here, maybe looking for the safest avenue of approach because you don't want to kind of swing past NIP and give themselves a chance of catching on rotation. Now, it looks like they've been able to at least move away for now, so they'll be able to set up within the circle. The Knights will hold the upper hand on this, but Team Liquid really trying to keep control of this area and trying to ward off Winstrike, which it's a good idea. If these nades start working out, it's going to force Winstrike away, but Winstrike are no slouches. They will fight this.
Look at this flank, though, from Gemty with the barrel. It's coming around. That nade's going to force Demi upside. He's looking to a Jorski. Hasn't given his position away yet, so they have the hill advantage. So they're all looking down on them, which is why you're seeing James get Car 98. Got to be careful with this. Using that little compound, grenades will come your way. And if Dimmy can find that spot, you can see he's continuing to toss the nades. If that goes in, no, it's all just bouncing away.
For me, the big point here
there we go.
is Gemty's flank, but then you also have, I think it's Ibby holding the top line, and he's going to probably meet Jorski pretty soon. So you can see both of these teams approaching this fight in a similar fashion, almost mirrored. There's the fight about to happen with Ibby. He's just got the first port of contact. These are the nades kind of being traded out. This one of them could connect. No, Timmy's just managed
Ran it
to
north,
get away with his life, but the idea of the northern players is very
look at
good.
the push of the both of them.
Exactly, that was the fight I was looking for. That's the gatekeeping key. Once that opens up, Winstrike can now kind of filter towards the north, and it looks like Team Liquid are going to have to swing south. When you win that fight, it gives you the way forward. That was the big kill that we didn't see.
You didn't get to see it. Jolski and Nuki took a big push onto Ibi there, and they've took him down. So they've actually pushed towards the compound, which kind of Team Liquid were defending. They've instead, because of the flanking move, they've almost outflanked themselves and find themselves now on the downhill.
Timmy's in trouble. That's TSM.
That's Tixu finished off. Timmy very, very low as he pulls away. Yeah, that's Michael getting drawn towards this fight. And one little clip will catch him. There we go.
Just tipping the bike up a touch. More than ample opportunity and almost overreaching with that headshot, but you're happy with that. There could be a revive. I think they're quite close to the compound, but I'm seeing more shots coming in. That's from Rory, I think.
G2 are pushing right on Reciprocity along with Raise Your Edge. The northern side's about to get very crowded between them. You can see it on the minimap there. Vitality and Digital Athletics also trading blows. The circle swings north. So this battle in the north here between G2 and Raise Your Edge is going to be vital. The nade's coming straight in behind him. It's pushing him in the blue. Chris has tried to return one. Fast Rail will go down. Menox on absolutely nothing. That nade going to go across the side, but Chris is pushing. He's got Udyr down as they continue on.
Oh, Menox falling is huge. That's opened up the higher ground again for more of a flank, but there's a bit of a safety system here for Raise Your Edge, and it's limited. It's because of the other teams in the background. You got Chris trying to do what he can, but it's Reciprocity keeping them all pinned in, and you can see Sixy having to keep that in mind. And now ENCE got it on Shiv. This means it's game on again. Oh, there's the blue is hurting so much as well here for Sixy. He wants to get out of there, but G2 hold the line.
ENCE are moving on it as well. They've come into the backside. We saw Scoom and Shiv going down there. Shiv going down. Haxeti's in trouble as well. Fast Rail and Menox will get finished off. They've just bled out into the blue. We expected that. So now Chris and Sixy down low. Meanwhile, down the bottom, we're seeing FaZe Clan. They're engaging with Na'Vi down on the western side of the circle, but Sixy with a massive play there. Maybe putting G2 on their backside. Kate, the last man standing. He's going to get Sixy down. It's basically Kate versus Chris, and Kate doesn't really know where he's going. Is he going to go for the revive? This is risky. The nade's coming in. Oh, they got him. I think that's going to get him. Oh, he didn't quite get the splash damage. Can you believe it?
And keep in mind, Haxeti is on the way. Other teams are closing towards us. They are not far off at all. They could potentially see it if they turn around. They may be so focused on ENCE they cannot handle that right now. NIP going down to the blue, having issues elsewhere. Kane peeks over, gets the timing right. And Raise Your Edge, it looked all good, and then it fell apart.
So let's switch across to the other fight. FaZe Clan are in trouble. You can see Bestalosh there, but the Knights are moving in. The Knights are coming in force. They're surrounding FaZe Clan. They're in all sorts of trouble. Vitality are kicking, losing players from left, right, and center. Third parties all over the place. Bestalosh will go down. The rest of his team's far away from this one, so that's him gone. But the Knights now all on top of FaZe.
Has no idea how many people have just rocked up here. Na'Vi had a 2-2 split, so their other players are elsewhere. They're not the issue, but where is FaZe? Have they all left Mexi alone? Is he just, he is out on his own. Oh no, this could be a problem. Na'Vi dealing with the other threat. M19, it's going to be ENCE going down. That's CrowCrowd.
They went up to the north. They tried to pull away from this fight, and they've just gone straight into CrowCrowd. FaZe, FuzzFace and ENCE down, so now Mexi, the last man standing. We could see them going down in 15th place. You know, no matter what they say on their stream, saying that Miramar's not a bad map for them, it is. I'm sorry, the points stand out, and it is a clear problem for them still. They have to work out their problems and figure out how they can convert their Erangel play to a Miramar standpoint.
Now this is the big cluster over in the southwest side. Na'Vi pretty much surrounded on all fronts. But then again, it is still Na'Vi. You have the Knights on the hillside moving away from Mexi. You've got Wanted still over in that sort of direction. But then you've got M19 in the south. You've got Winstrike in the east, and you've got the remnants of NIP. Mexi trying to fight his way out. He squats out Wanted. He does get a tag through the smoke, but the fire now comes in. Mexi is in trouble, and he knows it. There's very limited options here for himself. He might just try and take anyone he can with him. But look at Wanted. They've lost out on 2 players, and Na'Vi are looking like they can smell the blood in the water.
Last time we had this circle, the compound that Unity are in is the one that M19 won from, and TSM are in the identical compound where they finished second. Now, they took that from Team Liquid. This time, Team Liquid pushing on the backside of them. ENCE, by the way, are picking up a lot of kills on the hillside at the moment. Vitality now. Nasus will take down Sixmo. Mexi gone. That is the end of FaZe Clan. 15th place for them as Na'Vi keep the Knights down. They're gone as well. 14th place, just following straight behind them. And now Na'Vi are in trouble. They're taking shots from CrowCrowd, who are really picking up some bodies here.
Yeah, CrowCrowd are popping off this game. They've had really good positioning, that 2-2 paying off, and then some. Kemba, 4 HP gets in, 5 kills so far. This is really good. That's a big amount of bodies to be playing with already. VOD on the move, and it is just VOD, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He's got M19 in front, Winstrike in front, Na'Vi over there. This is not a fun run.
So it's looking like an identical circle. It's going to pretty much convince it's going to finish on top of Unity, who are holding this compound. M19 were in this position. They're coming from the south. Now, Winstrike have 4 standing, but Team Liquid have gone right onto the back of TSM's compound now. Somehow they've managed to get right on top of them. I don't know how TSM have allowed that. Meanwhile, Na'Vi, they continue to use the smokes to get out of there. Liquid now inside the compounds. They've managed to sneak their way in there, in with TSM.
Yeah, look at Wookie in this. He's just down below them. I do not understand how that's happened. It has. Wookie didn't expect it. Jeems now playing with them, toying with them. And I've got to say, TSM, you've got to deal with this before this threat becomes a real problem. Iro's nade catching off Jazz there as he tried to keep him back. The follow-up is lovely. Finishes what was started, and Nasus falls.
Unity gets
There's
him.
no safety anywhere. You can't peek any corners. There's so many teams with so much vision, and it looks like they all know where this is ending.
There's a strong possibility for Unity to have their first real big game. You can see the points, what it would mean to them. 44 points, 100 points away from Na'Vi, a team they've no doubt been looking up to as they come up into this division. Na'Vi themselves are in all sorts of trouble.
Pokemon.
He actually is the lowest damage dealer, would you believe it, for Na'Vi this phase so far, but he will go down. I think he took 2 with him, though.
Yeah, he certainly did. Really, really good play individually, but it's too little too late. They've gone down, and look at this clash in the north. ENCE hold the forest line. G2 suffered. Braxico got caught off in that.
Look at the third party.
Reciprocity, yeah, everyone's turning around for this one. Team Liquid, TSM, Unity can all get vision on this from afar. And this does not look good for the G2 remainders. They are the ones who are actually behind the camera where we're currently holding. First challenge, Reciprocity. Haxetti peeks the corner, delivers on all fronts. That's G2 gone. But can they step any further forward?
But that's just 1 kill in their 10th place, and it's looking like they go down. So we could see Reciprocity, while they're having, you know, they were looking at a good spot, they may actually go down with just a single point for the game because ENCE have this brick wall. And then as soon as they go over the peak, we already saw Team Liquid and TSM looking to take as many shots on them as possible. It's not looking good. Winstrike down in the south, they're making a sweeping move. You can see M19, he's going to be the sandwich in the bread between CrowCrowd and Winstrike, it looks like, as he tries to back away.
Oh, Haxetti's going for it.
Oh, the nades. Oh, dear.
He's going to do what he can. Scoom tries to work his way in. Going to be the snake in the grass, and I'm waiting to see Haxetti's name fill that kill feed because he's going right towards Merp. Past ENCE, past Iro. That's a lot of eyes on him, and he's still not safe. He's just trying to find another angle.
Just trying to get the hell out of there, along with Wanderer. Wanderer's trying to work his way in. CrowCrowd now making their move. Winstrike, everybody moving into the hills towards this compound that Unity still possess. Iro's managed to get himself on that roadside. ENCE are in a problem now because this is like the ridgeline that they have, but as soon as that circle pulls away from them, they have to start going towards the roadside. Similar game, almost identical setup. They were in G2 were in the same setup, and they had to use so many smokes just to get to the roadside.
It was near on impossible with less players still alive. So you've got to feel that's very uncomfortable for ENCE. They have to push out Scoom here. They know the blue's going to move in, but you can see how much they want this. Haxetti's trying to deliver an angle to try and keep Scoom safe, almost as that tasty bit of bait, that little morsel, keeping their attention. But other than that, it looks a bit of a done deal against Reciprocity. Wanderer creeping in. You do have Nookie over there, though. There goes Scoom. It was a matter of time in that sort of position. You can't really do much with it. And Rory nicks it.
Rory stole that one away. Haxetti will fall, so that is going to be just a single point for Reciprocity, despite the fact they made it to top 10. Sometimes it can be punishing. They were involved in so many fights, but they only got 1 kill confirmed out of it. Here we go. Here's the setup, the lay of the land. TSM and Team Liquid holding those 2 compounds. Unity in the main warehouse, and you can see Wanderer using every little bit of the land he can. Just a little level 1 helmet to help him through as Winstrike make the move in the fields.
This is horrible for Wanderer. Well, that's going to help him out, though. Bit of a third party. CrowCrowd just helped him out. Set
has managed to get right up on top onto the warehouse, right next to Orange. I don't think they are aware of him. It's actually just the left-hand side. You can see it. I don't know how he's managed to get so close without being spotted. He's crawled right on top of them, and he's giving so much information. Look, Orange is taking these shots, and as soon as he gets a slight knock, he's going to get instantly flushed by Set.
Really good approach. Vard finally gets caught out by NIP. Excuse me, by GMT for NIP. So NIP going down within the top 10. It's It's not the worst in the world. He was only a
Their
one-man
attention's
standing.
pulled. Look at this. Their attention's been pulled towards Winstrike, and Set moves in. He's inside the compound.
Look at Blaston's angle, though. It doesn't matter. It's going to be Winstrike who get the pressure. Set can't overrun this unless Blaston looks another way. Tizerin, good play from him, holding back the flood from Winstrike. And Set might have waited too long here, but now they need to move on this. There's weakness.
As soon as they see that, Sampai's coming piling in. Blaston's going to be completely unawares. They have no idea that Set is inside this compound with them. He's going to move around the side. Now he sees them. There's the gun down, and that could be a match-winning play coming out from CrowCrowd there to get hold of this warehouse. It is going to be a big, vital part of the final circle. The circle shrinks. It's going to cause problems for ENCE in the north. They need to move across. Now, this is the time they could move because there's so much going on between CrowCrowd and Unity. They could try and mix in with the chaos because TSM and Team Liquid are also looking towards them, though.
Yeah, the time is now. If they want to make the play, it's got to be soon. Jorski might just trip over Wanderer.
He's going Trifoli, look at this.
And Trifoli's just sending it. This is time to just try and flood in. There is room on the side of that hillside. And there it is. Wanderer actually finds Jorski. Big loss for Winstrike. Trade comes back and forth. It'll be Samty to find Trifoli. So ENCE are starting to suffer. It looks like they're not having a good time. They try to get across, or let's try and send one man across, maybe test the waters. And the waters are damn hot.
Tizerin is the last man for Unity. Tab is holding off DA. He gets them both down. That is beautiful. 13 kills and counting for CrowCrowd right now. They've dealt with so many teams. ENCE in all sorts of trouble. This is what I was talking about. To get across that road, it is a killing field. Now, the circle is pretty much going to finish right in the center where it is right now. It will center up and center up. And TSM, they played the situation before. They know what it's like. But they have to deal with Team Liquid on their backs first.
GMT already making the move. They have to take down Rustamar. He could be a bit of a threat. Headshots galore, and the body flies. It's Rory doing the work. And now Team Liquid need to move up. TSM need to know this. GMT's positioning is big. He's gotten ahead of TSM in this one. Now they are completely safe from the north. Them taking down ENCE has opened this side up. That will box in TSM slightly. Maybe feed them to CrowCrowd. Winstrike go down. That's Timmy gone.
14 kills and counting. It's massive game from CrowCrowd.
And Set's the headline star. He played it well. The timing was perfect. Tizerin is still in the compound. He is still alive. But this is 4 teams now.
So CrowCrowd, their backs are going to get pushed. James has actually hopped in a vehicle, so is he thinking to bring in a UAZ down there, or what's he trying? Maybe trying to distract TSM. You can see Samty and GMT, the brothers have made the move. They've got down low, so TSM, they can't push out because, look at it, straight clean view to CrowCrowd. So CrowCrowd, I think, are tossing some smokes out here to maybe get themselves a better position as well and block off TSM's view.
GMT is playing this so good. This is the play that I wanted to see from TSM when they're in this spot last time, which they tried to do, but it was a little too late in the day.
Behind him.
Tab's keeping it in mind. So this is what I like to see, 2 players with really similar mentalities approaching a situation like this. And GMT put on notice now. Tizerin's heard all the steps.
So this is interesting, because where GMT is right now, that's the exact spot that Gustav went to last time. He did get caught out, and I feel that Tab may well catch him in the back. Tizerin. Oh, he's going to come around the side. Didn't realize, didn't expect to. I think the bar actually blocked the bullet. Gets a spray down on Kemba. Going to secure the points as well. That's huge. Taking one of the CrowCrowd down. Comes around. Gets the second. Can he flush it? Oh no, the bar's protected him. There comes the grenade. He has to make the move. But Tizerin putting a lot of damage on CrowCrowd. And TSM have moved on it.
They have to go now. Already Tab's been called back to action. This will unleash GMT, Samty, James. TSM see the same weakness. They're all trying to chip away at the armor that is holding that compound. CrowCrowd had it all, but they missed just that one misstep. That one little slip might have just cost them the safest compound. And look at this read from Team Liquid. This is perfection. Whether or not they pull it off is yet to be seen, but the positioning is paramount.
They've got James, Samty, GMT all spread, covering the road, covering every angle. And
Rory's
it's
reading it back, though.
It's almost going to force CrowCrowd and TSM to almost fight each other, but they're kind of also worried about it. Tab's trying to get that flank again. He realizes this is what we need to cover off. We need to protect our roadside position, but I think it's too late. It is, and there's not a lot of cover there. Now we're going to switch to the grenade. Can the little Wookiee Samty get it out there? There's another bit of shot in the back, but Rory turns, and look at the angle he's got in the house.
Incredible play from Rory. Excellent mentality. He saw the issue and they managed to work it out. Michael steps up to the plate. James is in danger. He's trying to back away, try and find an angle to stay safe. And somehow CrowCrowd might have been just given a gift from TSM.
Have they gone too far? Did they stretch too much, Team Liquid? Did they try and get a little too greedy with this one? TSM Rory is about to get pushed. Phase 9, the circle is going to center up, and you can see Samty is almost on that central spot. It's just ahead of him on that. Basically, that tree right there ahead of Samty is the central position. CrowCrowd set. He's got the nades. Where's he going with it? I think he's going off to the side, so that should be safe. He's looking towards Gemty. Gemty will back away from this one. They could probably do with a bit of wall of smokes here ahead of the tractor.
Basically, for Team Liquid to have this, they need TSM and CrowCrowd to start fighting, which they can force technically. Once Set moves forward, once Rory has to move forward, once everyone leaves that little bit of cover they currently have, it should be game on between them, whereas Liquid hold a safer side, but there's so many eyes towards them. There's the fight beginning. That's Set getting the first couple of tags.
The first knock is going to set it off. A 3v3v3. This is a perfect finish. This is exactly what you wanted
good
for game one. That looks like it's on to Senpai. Senpai's return. There's a nade to the tractor. Gustav forced to back away. Set took a big chunk of that one. Second one will return back towards him. But they still have to keep moving in. It's going to start squeezing. Team Liquid have the center point.
Tab could play this late. The nades are really good, but he needs to wait until the blue starts moving so he can try and catch off Gustav or Rory or Michael. One of them, he's gone a little early on this maybe, but the blue is very close by. He's trying to keep this safe to allow Senpai, to allow Set to make the play, but he's been spotted. Gustav has more time to play with this as well. Tab is in danger. He might be the first to go. That blue will force him forward.
That nade's going to go straight towards him. There's nowhere else he can go. Michael gets taken down by Jeems, though. He tried to come around, so Jeems with a little swing around the side. Sets gets a peek. Gustav will finish Tab off, so CrowCrowd down to 2. But they have done a lot here. Samty trying to swing around, knows that Set is making the push. And TSM looking at that side peek they just had. Samty could be so pivotal. It's down to 40 bullets.
Honestly, I still back him on it. It looks like a quick drop of
just
bullets.
traded, yep.
Quick trade out. TSM creeping closer. They're trying to find safety in the smokes, but they will dissipate. And CrowCrowd doing the same thing, but the angle's been spotted and it's Set. He finds Gemty. It's not over just yet. The trade comes back out. Jeems is there. TSM join in. Taking down Set. CrowCrowd are suffering here, but they're managing to take Rory with them. It's Liquid staying alive. It's Jeems getting the kills.
It's Liquid looking like they're going to come out on top here. Tab's the last man. Look at Samty sneaking right through him. Gonna get him around the side. Tab's down to nothing. They've got him. The blue will take him in the end, and it's Team Liquid that finally break their curse on